This cannot be happening. After Martinelli's absolute stinker versus Man United and stinker for the past 2 years, somehow Arsenal aren't in on Eze, man. Eze on the left instead of Martinelli is genuinely a blessing in disguise. That is going from literally the trenches to the suburbs, man. That is going from a one-room, condo, a studio to a 3-story mansion, man. And Arsenal don't want to do it for some reason. Well, it seems like the problem is PSR, and they don't want to, breach financial fair play rules. But considering City have been doing it for years and they still haven't gotten even a slap on the wrist yet, kind of shows you how strict these rules are. But they are trying to offload a couple players like Jacob Kiwior and Trossard. But this is a must. Martinelli had got some transfer, traffic from the likes of Al Nassr and Milan. And I said, you know what? If anybody's willing to give at least 50 million, I will personally drive him to the airport and get him settled in whatever country he ends up. But not in London, mate. You are banned. But Eze, on the other hand, mate, you're an Arsenal fan. Literally an Arsenal fan. And I understand, right here, this quote is false. Yes, he doesn't say I would never play for Tottenham, but he literally goes on and on about this whole interview, how he's literally a Arsenal fan and he loves Thierry Henry and he would love to play for Arsenal, all this and that. So it kind of gives me some sort of why is Eze about to go to Tottenham for this amount of money? Because if he was truly about it and truly a fan of Arsenal, you would rather stay at Crystal Palace another season or wait it out until the end of the transfer window and hopefully Arsenal come and swoop you, or any other club but Tottenham. Tottenham have already bought in a couple players, in Kudus. They have, James Maddison that play the same position, a similar position, So to me, it doesn't make sense for Eze to even go to Tottenham. Yes, they have Champions League football, but they just finished 17th. It's just flabbergasting. So this is my thing here. Arsenal need to offload players. They are in need of a left winger as they can fill that need. And this man, if you're really an Arsenal fan, I'm telling you right now, mate, you're going to have a decent season at Crystal Palace. You're still going to get your big move next season. You're still a really young player. Genuinely, I would rather transfer anywhere else but Tottenham, mate. But Tottenham. And this is the thing. This is the great thing about, the manager of Crystal Palace. He came out and said, good advice to all the children watching. Don't believe everything you read in the newspaper. So one of the big things that we've been hearing is that Tottenham are literally on the verge of signing Eze. So if the manager's coming out and saying don't believe everything you're hearing, that may be a clear indication that maybe these Tottenham rumors and these Tottenham transfer links aren't really as big as they're making it seem, because Fabrizio Romano, we all know he's gonna milk the hell out of it and he's gonna make 10 videos about Eze getting closer and closer to Tottenham. And then he was basically making it seem like, Daniel Levy is literally pulling up to the Crystal Palace facilities and is like a couple quid away from being able to buy Eze. But in reality, maybe he's made an offer, player might have declined or the club might have declined, and he's just going to milk it. Because this is the manager. The manager would definitely be, in the loop on what's going on. And for him to come out and say, good advice to all the children watching, don't believe everything you read in the newspaper, makes it seem like this is actually a lot further than it's being portrayed on Twitter and all these social media outlets where they're making it seem like Eze's already going to be a Tottenham player. So to me, I don't really see this happening. I'll be absolutely shocked, because imagine you having all these videos of being an Arsenal fan, right? And then you end up moving to their eternal rivals. It's kind of a bad look as well. Tottenham fans will have a day with it, but everybody else is going to be looking at you like, mate, really? You're really doing this? This is like Wayne Rooney moving to Man City. This is like Frank Lampard moving to Arsenal. This is like, it's like, really, mate? Steven Gerrard going to Everton. You just don't make that move, mate. You don't make that move, especially if you're a fan. And I understand that Arsenal, yes, when he was younger, did reject him. But, mate, now they're in for you. Now they want you. They just got to clear up the books, mate. Be patient. There's still, there's still a couple weeks. But anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. If you were Eze, would you make the move to Tottenham, or would you wait for any other club, including Arsenal, to come and swoop you? Considering that he's been a childhood fan of Arsenal, because honestly, Crystal Palace are going to have European football anyways. Look at Declan Rice's situation with West Ham. You know, he doesn't make the move the year before, stays with West Ham in the Conference League, wins the Conference League, and then he gets a 100 million move to Arsenal. So keep that in mind. Keep that as an example, Eze, because if you make that move too early, like James Maddison, do you really want to be James Maddison or do you want to be Declan Rice? This is where your time to choose. But anyways, thank you guys for watching.